Well, hello there, and welcome to Transformation for Success Television Network. And this is the Total Woman Show, and this is Dr. Barbara Young, your host for today. And I am so excited. We have got a hot topic for you today, but first I want to introduce my co-host. First, Dr. Cecile Lacaco, who is an entrepreneur and known as the Smile Dentist.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're happy to have you on the show today, really. We're going to have a great time. And then to my right, I have Miss Maureen McCann, who's an entrepreneur, business owner, and real estate investor. Maureen, welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you on the Total Woman Show today.
Thank you, Dr. Barbara.
This is great. We want you to know that our statements are our own, ours uniquely to share. You may not agree or you may disagree. But however, this is a message for you today. This hot topic we have, which is why are strong attention titles getting so important for authors today to get people to grab and buy that book? So we're going to explore today a very noted best-selling author, Dr. Carol Soloway, who's our guest today. Dr. Carol, how are you?
Hello.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh,
I'm so
pleasure.
delighted to have you.
How are you?
Boy, have we heard so much about you. Wow, your book title has caused a firestorm, let me tell you. Oh, my goodness. Woo-hoo. I have to start fanning. Woo, sex happens is the title of her book. But today we want to explore the author and who you really are, and some of the motivations behind writing a novel such as this. And it is a fiction novel, and one of the things that we do know today, there are very few female authors who are writing fiction. We have a lot of nonfiction, but it's a pleasure to have you on the show today to share with us your journey and a little bit why you wrote this book, Miss Dr. Carol.
Yes. I wrote the book because there are so many women out there who are maybe disappointed, maybe even devastated by love. And they've let other people decide whether they're pretty enough, sexy enough, good enough. And when that dream is completely destroyed, the dream of happily, all I want to do was live happily ever after, be married. And at first it was very easy. I had to just be a fabulous cook, a maid, Mother Teresa to my children, and a sex goddess at night. It was easy. So, but it didn't work. And like over 50% of people, I got a divorce. But in my case, I had no money, so I allowed my former husband to take the children.
No.
I lost custody, and that was my secret.
Wow.
The attorney wanted to charge me $3,000. Are you kidding me? There was all I had in my name was a $10,000 student loan. That was it. So I decided there were so many women who have gone through this. This was my secret. And I kept my secret tightly wrapped, but something happened.
So people tend to think, I think, that this is your autobiography because the Alex, the leading lady in this novel, is a chiropractor just like you during the day.
I didn't know what else to have her do. I mean, I would have had to
Well, you
study.
could have made her an office manager.
Okay.
That's inflammatory right there.
I wanted her to be a strong professional woman to show that it doesn't matter who you are in life. We are all destroyed when our relationships, when our love goes awry.
So this is a 20-year marriage, and the husband, for those of you who've not read the book, just a little teaser here, is that basically this is about a woman, a professional woman, who after 20 years, the husband says, I want a divorce. More or less, I'm in love with somebody else. I'm not sure. Yeah, he says, I'm in love with somebody else. And so this heartbroken woman not only loses the husband, but her children as well.
Devastating.
And so that's two double whammies that happen. How did the character survive? I mean, because you had to put in a survival mode for her, I'm sure.
Yes, but before surviving, and she doesn't just go.
Through it. Yeah.
Yes, and because I didn't go through a custody battle, I studied. I went to the courthouse.
Okay.
I watched proceedings, spoke to attorneys, spoke to judges. So it was her journey. She had to go through all of this, and while you're going through this, you can't really you can't really improve yourself. But she had something that I didn't have at the time that every woman needs. She had a core group of friends, her First Friday book club.
Okay.
And that got her through.
That's great.
Women need to have 5 people, they say, but you just need
somebody.
Women to bounce things off of bounce your ideas, look in the mirror with you, not just by yourself.
Right.
And it's so important.
It is important.
We are so blessed in that way.
I mean,
we?
Yeah, we really are.
I
We
think
are.
so.
I think friendships are important. The sisterhood is so important. When you're going through something like that, people who can empathize and who can really, really relate and not criticize or say, well, you know, sort of that judgment
Or
attitude.
add fuel to the fire.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
The intriguing part of this story is your character, the names of your characters. I think did you have a question about that?
Alex,
Yeah.
the woman, the chiropractor. Basically, I was asking more about how you came up with the name and how you thought of, Alex is a name that is common now.
Right.
But in the past, Alex really was used for men. And I think it signifies the strength of a woman. And I love it when people name their children, the female children, a man's name because it signifies strength.
I don't want my kid named Peter. I'm sorry.
Well, I kept having boys, and I really liked the name Alex, so I needed to give it to somebody.
Yeah.
And, well, the last name, now this is eerie, the last name was different. Her last name is Rose.
Yes.
The last name, a man came into my office with that same name after I had written the book.
First name or last name?
Last
Alex
name.
Rose.
Wow.
He
Wrote, no,
just the last name.
another twist on that name. I can't say it.
Okay.
But it was another name.
Okay.
And did exactly what the main character in my book did after I had written it.
So she's psychic.
Well,
She's
I don't know if we
intuitive.
say. I'm not saying
No,
that word. I'm not saying that word.
No, I'm not saying I'm psychic.
no,
I'm
but
saying what
there-
we live with.
Sometimes we create our own reality by what we say.
That's
Maybe
exactly
you
true.
created the character, in terms of that's what you said, and the name appeared. One of the things, I wanted to applaud you, Carol, because in writing a fiction book, you did research, and I think it's important for people out there who may be thinking about writing a book from some of your own experiences, but it needs that additional research. You went to court and you did all of these things to validate. Or to further validate the experience, and I think that's admirable. You don't mention that very much about the research. What other research did you do in terms of getting the material ready for this book?
Oh, you don't want to know. I went to
from class
to class. I even got accepted at Squaw Valley Writers Conference where there was Amy Tan and Mark Childress. I went from class to class and studied how to write yes, I was an English teacher before I became a chiropractor. Okay, so
you
there
lived
was
all these different lives.
I had
Little bit of advantage here.
another life. Yes, it was good. And my husband was a journalism major, so he proofed all the scenes. And what I did was I studied the craft of writing. And it took me 10 short years to write this book.
Wow.
Well,
But I never
wow.
gave up.
Wow.
90% of people who start to write a book give it up.
Okay, so that's where I have my question, because it's not only just about writing a book, it's about accomplishing many different things in life that people set goals for. However, they wake up 5 years, 10 years, a lifetime later, and they still have that unrealized dream that's still within, but they let fear stop them from accomplishing something that would give them what they believed would be something fulfilling, but they let fear stop them. So I need to ask, because I think this is a very important question, not just for you having to write and complete this book, but for the women that are listening and tuning into this show. Were there moments where you were fearful? Were there moments that you wanted to quit?
Well, I was never fearful because I didn't think until I published it.
Okay.
I'm in my house. I'm reading. I go to my writing group, and one day I'm the best writer in the group, and the other days, oh my gosh, why did I even pick up this pen? So there was no fear until it became a reality.
Okay.
But so many of us do have fear that stops us along the way. I didn't have this because it was not a nothing until it became something.
Right.
And once it was published, yes, I was very fearful. We all have our private lives, and once it came out, I was a nervous wreck about my private people. What were they? I made my husband promise we would quit the tennis club if people were laughing at me. A silly thing. And my family. Oh my goodness! What are they going to think? And as my private circle started responding with such accolades that I couldn't even believe, and that is way more important and has been to me than this #1 Amazon. Didn't matter. That was my #1 stepping stone. Once they said, and my family refers to it as the bad book with Auntie's legs. So I know my family is behind me.
It's really amazing because the title is so provocative. So when I put it on my Facebook page, a patient of mine called me and said, Dr. L, do you think that's appropriate for you to promote that book? And I wasn't even thinking of the title because I knew what the content was.
Right.
It's about a woman transforming herself,
Right.
basically being strong enough for her children. So that's what I was thinking. But then the title stops people. It's like when you hear people say, don't read a book by its cover.
Don't judge.
Don't judge, sorry. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
So we tend to judge that. We tend to judge people by the way they look, the way they sound, when actually the inside is really more important than the outside. But I understand one of the things that you're doing is making it so provocative enough so people pick it up. And that's an amazing thing that you did.
And I wondered about that too, because I had some concerns. People expressed concerns about me actually having a show with a book title, Sex Happens. And I wanted to know, had you had any feedback from some of your circle of friends or even people outside the circle to talk about that in any way?
Well, I picked the title because, and only because, that was the gut punch moment for the main character. I didn't pick it because of the titillating scenes or anything like that. I picked it because that was when she was raw, vulnerable, life collapsed, and he says it just happened.
Yes.
She said it doesn't just happen.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So that was it. The other thing is, to get people to pick it up, it has to have a great cover, it has to have a great title.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's going to be lost in the sea of noise, which is out there. And I wanted, and yes, the responses have been around how much the book made me see myself, see my own life, and I only got one comment about the sex scenes.
So really, I think the book in itself is about a journey of a woman who then has to travel through many experiences and overcomes, which many of us around this table can relate to, that there are challenges. And so I want to say to you, viewers out there, that you may be going through some challenge that may be similar to the character in Dr. Carol's book. But you can overcome. You can become that person. It is a matter of choice. We can either accept and go under and think about, this is it, it's over, my life is over. And I know that this woman had to be on her 50s. If she married in her 20s, she was doggone near 50. So
40.
40.
Because they married
and a
around
lot
40.
of times we feel like, because we're such an age-conscious society, and I know for many of you out there thinking, I'm 40 and it's over. Well, I tell you, it's just beginning for you. So don't give up, because I can say, I'm not going to share my age on this show, but on one of them I will, that life does not stop at 40. So Carol, I really want to thank you for bringing to many readers a book that just is not about sex. It's about a journey of a woman that has to go through this. And I want the men. How many men have picked up this book? That's what I'm intrigued. How many?
Not that many.
Not that many?
No. They pick it up and then they see what it is and put it down. No, men, this is not a book for men. But it's a great book for a man to give.
Maybe they could be educated.
Yes.
I mean, it is a book for men because they can be educated by looking at the pain principle behind a woman and what men do, but women do also. But I think it would be a learning experience for many men.
It's basically just learning how not to hurt people.
Right.
Because that was very painful,
I mean,
the way the man in the book told Alex.
I can see you bursting over here.
I
You're just bursting over here, girl. Go ahead, Maureen.
Go ahead, Maureen.
Go ahead.
This question has been percolating now. It's been percolating, and I'm ready to unleash
You're ready to let it go.
I'm ready to let it go. So this story that you tell is a woman that is really going through a place where it's a place of transformation. She started at a place that she thought was wonderful and realized that she woke up one day and realized that her life was not as it seemed to be. And that was the beginning of her journey to discover who she really was. Do you think that you would have been able to capture the true essence of this character had you not gone through the same type of transformation yourself?
Good question.
That's why it was percolating.
Good question.
That's a good question. In all of the writing classes that I took, you have to take a character and put her through something and then keep throwing rocks at her. Okay. In other words, it's not only that she loses custody of the children, but there's her husband just twists everything around, and her lover might be somebody who's sort of set up. I mean, there's a lot of things that I did not go through.
But you threw at her.
Yes.
Okay.
So I kept throwing rocks at her. Not very kind, but she came through okay. But when you are writing, you have to take this character and drag her through the mud so that people will cheer for her. And that's what has happened. As I said, after this happened to me, I sat there for 20 years and didn't tell anybody. Now, who's going to read a book? I sat there for 20 years. So it is not necessarily my story, but yes, going through, what do I say? The emotional journey is 100% mine, but the journey in the book is maybe 40?
Okay, little reveal there, a little reveal.
40.
So then here's the
You want to know what it was? No.
Yes, read the book.
People are reading it now.
So then the bigger question that I have is pain necessary? Is really extraordinary pain necessary to have extraordinary growth and really to transform into who you were really meant to be in the first place?
In life, yes. In a book, in writing, I don't think so. My next book is about a child who's abducted. That never happened to me, but I'm writing it. So I don't think you have to, but I'm reading every single book out there about, but you don't have to go through the pain to write about it. It's more authentic if you do.
Okay.
But I think in life you have to go through the pain to grow.
But
Otherwise it's too easy.
I think that's a rhetorical question you ask in terms of pain, and out of pain there becomes growth. And it is how we can help women transcend from that pain point to turn it into success and triumph.
Because there's many women that get stuck, right?
Yes,
there's many women that get stuck in that pain and then
pain.
Right.
I did.
Yeah. I did too.
I think at some point in our lives we tend to get stuck, even if it's just a minute, or it could be decades. And I think the more women speak up about all these things that have happened to us, because we all have some sort of pain, and you can't really say your pain is
greater
worse than
than
mine.
mine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We had
So-
those friends.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's very good that, for example, the book that you've written, I think it's so amazing to share your story to the world, you know?
Right,
And
yes.
My book, your book is on broken legs, the journey of a
Yes.
diva.
I
Divinely
read it.
inspired, victorious with authority.
Redefine diva. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well,
I had to go through some pain, as you did, Maureen, because I know your story. In fact, I was fascinated when I first met you to know your story of triumph over pain. And you did it quickly. I mean, it's like this girl went, bam, it happened. Let's get up and moving the next day.
It didn't feel quickly. It did not feel quickly, but similar to the character in the book, there is a very painful incident, which is a loss of some sort, death, disease, disability. You lose something that's very precious to you, and when that's taken away unexpectedly, you know, you begin this search, really. I mean, I think it's the universe sort of kicking you in the head saying, hey, you missed all the cues that I've been trying to nudge you to follow along the way. You've been ignoring them beautifully. Yes, I did. I ignored them beautifully, and then it was the good, swift kick, you know, to the gut to finally say, okay, I feel you now.
I'm ready.
I am
ready.
ready. You've got my attention. Just like the title of a book that's provocative, I needed something really provocative to, a painful, provocative experience to happen to wake me up and move me to become, as you say, the person I am now. And I'm just getting started. Like, I feel like there's a lot more that's coming that I feel like the reason I wanted to be here was to contribute to the group.
Well, we want to thank you for being here today. Really,
you.
really.
Thank you.
I think she's going to be our permanent co-host. I really do. Cecile, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
You know, as we close the show today, Carol, for any of you, is there a last minute word you want to say to our viewers out there?
Yes, I would like to echo what Maureen said, and there's a line in the book. Sometimes when we lose the ones we love the most, we find ourselves.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. So I want to thank you for tuning in with the Total Woman Show today. And we know that you've enjoyed this show. And if you have, please send your comments to me at info@transformationforsuccess.com. We'd love to hear from you. So we are going to see you next week where we've got another provocative topic for you and another exciting guest. So tune in next week. Total Woman Show, Transformation Success TV. So until then, bye-bye. Have a very blessed week. Have a blessed week.
Oh my God, you're
You are welcome.